Today we're looking at Alexander Hamilton. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Alexander Hamilton is considered to be one of the great founding fathers of the United States. Although Hamilton never was elected president, he nonetheless played an important role in laying the foundation for the nation, as he was instrumental in the American Revolution, writing of the Constitution, and establishing America's economic groundwork. In recent years, Hamilton has become popular due to Broadway plays and music revolving around his life. Alexander Hamilton was born on the Caribbean island of Nevis on January 11th in either 1755 or 1757 to James Hamilton, who was a merchant trader, and Rachel Fawcett Levine. Alexander's mother was actually married to another man at the time of Alexander's birth and had one other son with James Hamilton, James Hamilton Jr., who was Alexander's older brother. Alexander's father left the family when Alexander was only about 9 or 10, and then Alexander's mother died only 2 years later. Alexander was basically on his own at the age of 11 and was hired to be a clerk for a trading company in St. Croix. In 1772, a hurricane struck the island, and young Alexander wrote a detailed description of the storm and the damage. His report on the storm was widely circulated around St. Croix, and the people of the island decided to raise money to send him to the American colonies to attend King's College, today Columbia University, in New York. While there, Hamilton began to get involved in the cause of liberty for the colonies by writing pamphlets and arguing against British rule over the colonies. After the opening shots of the American Revolution, Hamilton signed on and joined the Continental Army. He saw early action at the battles of Trenton and Princeton. He soon caught the attention of General George Washington, who recognized Hamilton's bravery and intelligence. Hamilton joined Washington's staff of advisors and would become one of Washington's most trusted commanders. In 1780, in the midst of the American Revolution, Alexander married Elizabeth Schuyler, and the two would go on to have 8 children together. In 1781, Hamilton commanded a battalion of American troops at the siege of Yorktown and bravely captured a key redoubt defending the city. Soon after the redoubt was captured, the British surrendered, which eventually led to the victory for the Americans in the war. After the war, Hamilton finished his studies and became an attorney in New York City. In 1787, he was chosen to be a delegate to the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, where he aided in writing a new constitution for the United States. Hamilton strongly advocated for a strong central government, and in fact, at the convention, gave a 6-hour speech arguing that point. Hamilton was key in getting the Constitution ratified or approved. He, along with James Madison and John Jay, wrote a series of 85 essays known as the Federalist Papers, which argued in favor of the new Constitution. When George Washington was unanimously elected the first president of the United States, he appointed Hamilton the Secretary of the Treasury. Just as Washington was setting precedents for the presidency, Hamilton was setting precedents for the financial system of the young nation and urged for the establishment of a national bank and for the federal government to take on state debts. Arguing for more central government control, Hamilton placed himself among one of the leaders of the new Federalist political party, who were opposed to those that believed the central government should not be too powerful, known as the Democratic Republicans. Hamilton's views placed him at odds with other founding fathers such as Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. In 1795, Hamilton left his post as Secretary of Treasury and returned to his law practice in New York. 2 years later, in 1797, Hamilton was revealed to have been involved in an affair with a married woman named Maria Reynolds. The controversy destroyed any hopes Hamilton had of running for president. In the election of 1800, Thomas Jefferson opposed Federalist John Adams for the presidency. Although Hamilton was a Federalist, he despised John Adams and publicly criticized him, which contributed to Adams' defeat by Jefferson. Despite defeating Adams, Jefferson was still tied in the Electoral College with fellow Democratic Republican Aaron Burr of New York, who had been a longtime political rival of Hamilton. The decision of who would be president went to Congress, where Hamilton helped sway lawmakers to choose Jefferson. Burr was now relinquished to being vice president. Upset by this, Burr ran for governor of New York in 1804. Burr lost the election and blamed much of his loss on Hamilton, who had publicly spoken out against him. A newspaper article was then published claiming that Hamilton had insulted Burr at a private dinner. Feeling that his honor had been challenged, Burr challenged Hamilton to a duel. At dawn on July 11, 1804, the two met at Weehawken, New Jersey, where both took a pistol, walked 10 paces, and then turned and fired at one another. Hamilton's shot missed, but Burr's shot struck Hamilton squarely in the stomach. Hamilton survived for 31 hours, but eventually died of his wound at 2 a.m. on July 12, 1804, at the age of 50. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.